I'm Cathy Sayer, and I'm the Director of Service Learning and Civic Engagement at Wright State. And mostly what that means is that the work of the center supports the university's mission to transform the lives of our students and our communities through significant community service. Now, we also support the other two bullets in the mission statement by creating innovative, high-quality academic programs, and we deal with community-based research as well. So we really support all the three pieces of the university's mission. We've started very small. The center just started in the winter of 2007. We kind of did some groundwork in the fall of 2006. And because we have started small, we've chosen to focus on trying to develop depth in a few areas instead of just trying to do everything. Although anytime someone in the community calls, we try to find some way to address the need that they have, the request that they've made. There are a number of different ways that we go about doing our community engagement work. One of them is through service learning, and that's defined as partnerships that exist between faculty, students, and community members to achieve academic learning objectives and meet community needs, and then also to promote civic responsibility. And that kind of community engagement happens in credit-bearing courses. So students might be in an English course, a business writing course, where they're creating various kinds of documents that nonprofit organizations need, like policy and procedure manuals or newsletters or marketing packages. We have students in a public school that are doing reading assessments for their early childhood education reading class. We have students in capstone classes. We had an MIS capstone class last spring that developed an inventory tracking system for our food pantry, for our student food pantry. And then we have social work students that are tutoring as one of their classes in child development. They're tutoring at one of our elementary schools, and then they're having the opportunity through that to observe the children's development and see how the theory they're learning in the classes really comes into play in those children's lives. So that's probably the major way that the office focuses on community engagement. But we also do coordinate National Days of Service. We have one every quarter. We do Make a Difference Day in the fall, and we do Martin Luther King Day of Service in the winter and Global Youth Service Day in the spring. We also support student organizations that are very engaged in community service, helping them find projects that are appropriate for their clubs and the kinds of interests that those students have. And we work with individual students who just want to get involved with the community and help them find placements where they can have a meaningful experience and really make a difference for their own lives as well as the community. So one of the things that we've been able to offer here at the Center for Service Learning and Community Engagement is a few scholarships. We're building a scholarship fund. Dayton Power and Light endowed a scholarship for us, so we're looking right now to fill that position. We have a Citizen Scholarship Fund, and then we have 4 students that are part of an AmeriCorps program called Students in Service. And for committing to 300 hours of community service, they will get like an $1,100 scholarship award. One of our students that's in the Students and Scholars program is Adam French. And he took our SRV 200 Citizenship in a Democracy course and got all excited about being involved in the community.
My name is Adam French. I'm a mechanical engineering student at Wright State. I started volunteering with Feed Dayton about 2 years ago. Feed Dayton's an urban farming program founded by Ken Carmen. And since then, I decided that I wanted a garden closer to me where I live. So got in contact with the church and started this garden. Our main crops are kale, which is high in nutrition, and tomatoes for their popularity. Hopefully next year we'll plant the rest of the space and grow things like watermelon and just more and more kale.
So that's fun, being involved with students whenever they get that excited about things. The other chief area of focus that we have for programs here in the center is poverty programs, and we also have an Ohio Campus Compact AmeriCorps Vista working in that program.
I'm Rebecca Fensler, and I am the Poverty Programs Coordinator in the Office of Service Learning at Wright State. And I'm also an Ohio Campus Compact AmeriCorps Vista, so I've been placed here by Ohio Campus Compact to serve at Wright State. The idea of the pantry came about actually before I got to campus. There's a committee on campus. It's called the Service Learning and Student Activities Committee, and they had been meeting regularly to discuss how they could incorporate civic engagement in different areas of the university and collaborate on different projects. And they were in a meeting, and one of the faculty members who serves on that committee had heard about a campus food pantry at another university. And so she thought, we're having hard times here in Ohio, especially in this area. Students here have to be struggling if students in other areas of the country are struggling. So they applied for a grant through Ohio Campus Compact to place a Vista here on campus, and that's what I do. Obviously, we provide food to students. We have some non-perishable items. Obviously, that's a big part of it, but we were able to get a refrigerator so that we can store some perishable items so that students can, really get the nutritious food that they need, and we can start getting some of those items like dairy products and things like that, especially that, families might need. We do stock, baby items, so we do have, like I said, a lot of student parents that use the pantry, so we try to have diapers, formula, baby wipes. Those are things that a lot of pantries in the community aren't able to offer their clients, so we're really fortunate that we have been able to get donations of those things so that we can provide those to students. I think our main mission and goal is to help students who are in crisis situations or are experiencing difficult times, to really allow them to stay in school, know that there's support here on campus for them, know that it's a community that cares about their success, and hopefully help them, achieve that goal of getting a degree, being able to open up opportunities for them, after they graduate from Wright State.
Coming to Wright State means jobs, and that's what the service learning and civic engagement projects can do for students as well. While the things that may feel most meaningful to the students are those emotional changes that they experience of caring more about things they didn't care about before, understanding something they didn't understand before about someone else's experience that's different from theirs. The same skills that it takes to be a good citizen, to be able to speak up and advocate for the causes that you believe in, to create the change that is needed in your community, those same kind of skills make you very marketable on the job market. And we see this happen over and over again. We have 3 students over at Dayton Urban Ministry who are in school right now, but they have gotten jobs at Dayton Urban Ministry based on their experience in their service learning courses. We're really in a big collaboration across campus through student activities, the staff and the faculty working together to make sure that the university's resources are not caged up here on campus, but are really accessible and available to the community for addressing all the biggest needs the community has. This university is such a wonderful resource for this community and our region and even beyond. But when we talk about our community engagement, we're not talking about leaving campus and going out into the community, because we are the community. Our staff, our faculty live in the community. We're connected to all the problems and the issues. They're our problems, they're our issues, and we're working with the community members in all these different organizations to make a difference, to make this a better place for all of us.